Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the JT Effect. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Hey, if you are just now watching, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share, leave a comment. Please put in B1 if you are B1. And we're Black first before anything else. I'm Black first before I'm Republican, Black first before I'm Democrat, all this stuff. And we're going to be right back in a minute.
To me, just share with me your thoughts. Don't be afraid to talk to me and show me who you are. I wanna know. Talk to me.
It's the JT Effect. Nothing else can make you feel like that. It's the JT Effect. Nothing else can make you feel like that.
Talk to me. Just
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button if you're watching this, because I'm about to dive into a topic that a friend sent me a while ago, maybe a few days ago, and it was a very interesting. Well, he didn't send me. I read the article. Sorry, read the article. Let me not lie on here. I read the article and I shared it, and it was a really interesting article. Also, if you're watching, if there's any kind of lag that you're seeing, because I think I saw something where it was saying there was like some kind of I might have a bad connection. Let me know if you can hear me. Just type yes if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, just write in no, I can't hear you. There's a lag or whatever. But if you can hear me, please just type in yes if you can hear me. But yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. But anyway, I saw this article, and the article was really, really interesting about basically Clifton Powell, actor Clifton Powell, and he was dealing with. Okay, thank you. I see a yes. Yes, you hear me. Okay, good. I appreciate it. Curly girl, I appreciate that. So, Clifton Powell was really recently in a an article, interview. He had an interview about that's how Hollywood has been treating him. And I'm going to share that article. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my bearings while trying to make sure that all of this is going. So bear with me. But all right, so this is the article. It was an Essence article that I read, and it's basically saying that, Clifton Powell, I don't know if you guys have seen, he's probably more so famously known for his role as Pinky in Next Friday. I don't know if y'all remember Ice Cube's Next Friday. Like, Pinky, nickel. You remember this? So really funny character. I know me and my friends, we used to love, repeating his lines and stuff like that. Okay, I appreciate it, soul man, appreciate it. And you're right, yeah, he is a great actor. He's a really good actor. He's been in the game for a long time. And so I'll just make sure I'll just keep it really quick. So his acting career spans over 30 years with renowned roles in Ray, Eve's Bayou, and Woman Thou Art Loosed. And like I said, that's not even including what I just mentioned. Next Friday is in the role of Pinky, which is memorable for me, one of the more memorable roles. But he's candidly speaking out on how he's been slighted from potential roles due to colorism in the industry. And I think I've talked about this before. If I haven't talked about it here, I've talked about it elsewhere. But colorism is a big issue. So in a recent interview with the Jasmine Brand's Robin Ayers, Powell discussed how pervasive racism prevails in Hollywood and revealed a disheartening anecdote of his personal experience with it during casting. If y'all knew, and this is him speaking, if y'all knew how many movies I had people come to me and they say, well, you should be bigger than you are. And he said, well, if I tell you how many times they said I was too black for the role, you wouldn't believe it, says the 64-year-old. And Powell says he also shies away from speaking on racial justice to avoid using the race card and receiving backlash from the predominantly white industry. He continued, if I tell you the truth, I've been blocked from a lot of movies. One big movie, the network told the producer, we think he's so dark, he's going to scare everybody. Now, I want that to sink in now. And as I keep, I'll just keep reading right there. In spite of these disparaging remarks, Powell has gone on to receive a NAACP Image Award nod for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture for his role in Ray, and has found success in both television and film. And Powell also touches on how he aims to mentor young actors on the ins and outs of the industry, urging them to listen to those who have come before them. He says, I take the time with the young people to try and give them all the stuff that I didn't know. It takes unyielding faith to make it in the business and to get to this place to where you can make it living as an actor, make a living as an actor. So with all of that being said, somebody else mentioned that they like him on Saints and Sinners. He's dope. Hollywood is too stupid to recognize black talent. I agree. And Curly Girl said that's been going on. They just finding out. I agree as well. But I do also agree with like what Misi, I guess hopefully I'm saying your name right, is Miss Howard. I'll just say that Miss Howard says that's messed up, and I fully agree. It's really messed up because you have such a talent of an actor. And you still have, out of all this stuff, now remember all these, especially with George Floyd passing, and they're trying to take off all these racist, images on the, on the different food, items that we're getting, and they're trying to be more diverse and more respectful and more progressive. Now we're with a progressive administration, right? We're so progressive that you still have things like this happen behind the scenes. Even Black Panther, as much as we all love Black Panther, there was really a push from the gatekeepers, still in an old school mindset, old school guard. They were saying like, man, no one will ever go and watch a movie like Black Panther or like Captain Marvel, because no one's gonna watch that. And you still have things like this going on that people want to ignore, but these things happen. These things happen. They've been happening. They continue to happen. As much as they try to say, oh, we're past this, and we're past that, and we're progressive, and no, that happened way back then. That doesn't happen anymore. No, this stuff is happening. It's happening. And you have a talent, a powerhouse like Clifton Powell, and he's a really great actor. This dude is good. He's been in the game for a long time, probably longer than I can even remember. And you have people that are blocking this man from roles, not because he's not good enough, but because he's too black. He's too dark. He's going to scare everybody. Oh, is it this dark skin? Oh, he's going to scare them. Let's get somebody else. The colorism, and I know I'm preaching to the choir with everybody about this, because in the Black community, most of us, we know about this. And I'm saying most of us, because I don't want to speak for everybody, but most of us, we know about this from watching different TV shows, how they maybe replaced a certain actor for a actor of a lighter hue. So you had a dark-skinned actor at first, but then they got replaced for whatever reason. Now another actor is in their place, and this person is lighter skinned. Also, I've heard supposedly, or at least I don't know how true this is. This is just he say, she say. But for Black Panther, I guess maybe they're considering having somebody recast, and it's like some light-skinned dude. Let me see if I can find that where I was watching that, or where I saw that. But that's crazy. And I was sitting there thinking, like, man, if they do something like that, for instance, that's just one of the worst things you can ever do, because you had a dark-skinned lead actor for Black Panther, and Black people need to see that. We need to see that. We need to see ourselves in all shades, because we're constantly told every day that, one, just being Black, you're not good enough. Just in general, no matter what shade you are, you're not good enough. But then the darker you are, the more you're blocked out from things, right? So these are the things that are happening. So for us to see somebody like Chadwick Boseman, for instance, a dark-skinned man who is the lead, he is the hero, he is the king of this African country, and it's very, very high tech. The world looks to them as leaders. That's amazing. That does wonders for not only just children, Black children looking up to see, like, hey, I can see myself in these heroes now, but it does wonders for us as just Black people, because it's like, oh, finally, out of all these years, I'm finally seeing someone who looks like me. After all this time of, loving and going after, being a huge fan of Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and all this other stuff, finally I can see somebody who looks like me, the King of Wakanda, a dark-skinned, proud, strong black man. And there was pushback for that to happen. But thank God there are some white people who really see beyond, see the forest for instead of the trees, and you push for really truly progressive things. So you have somebody like a Chadwick Boseman now, who is the lead and who is seen as a hero. He's not the supporting character. He's not the friend of the white hero who just happens to help out every once in a while. And also Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o is a you will rare, and that's even more so. I mean, we're talking about Clifton Powell right now, but for black women, dark-skinned black women, they are rarely, I don't even want to say rarely, they're really never ever seen as a love interest in any movies. They're never seen as love interest in any movies. Not any movies run by, Hollywood, white Hollywood. They're not seen as love interest because, like I said, the darker your skin, the scarier you are. So for somebody as beautiful as Lupita Nyong'o, as this person, she is gorgeous, just beautiful, skin so smooth, just like she absorbed space and is still a goddess. But you won't really see her as a love interest, and also they don't want to see black couples in movies because then they're gonna, it's a black movie, so they want to shy away from that. And then you also don't really see that many black couples in commercials. I've been seeing commercials recently to where it's been a lot of mixed relationships, or you see a black parent and kind of like a mixed child, or a white parent and a mixed child. So it's just kind of like, hey, so it's black, but not too black. We black, but not too black. So, and even before Black Panther, how much have we seen Lupita Nyong'o in really like major leading roles? I mean, think about it now. Somebody please put down the stuff that you remember you seeing her in, like, oh no, she's been in leading roles and stuff like that, but I haven't seen her in that many leading roles until like she's gotten a bigger star. Like the spotlight has increased on her thanks to Black Panther. A dark-skinned black woman. She is really dark. Now, this is what scares a lot of white people, and sometimes black people. Scared of their own magic, scared of their own beauty. And this is very, very beautiful, gorgeous woman, and exactly like even George Lucas called out Hollywood for the like how many people went and supported Red Tails? And he knows. Like there's white people that know, and they try to help us out with some of this stuff, but we have to become more supportive of these things. And just like so, man, yeah, she is sexy. She is a very sexy, beautiful, gorgeous woman. But she was being blocked too prior to Black Panther. So now let's fast forward. Now the Black Panther has come out. She is now finally the love interest for a black man. You don't see that a lot. And a strong, she's not this weak, not just because remember, I don't know how many of y'all seen Enemy of the State. Just comment yes if you've seen Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State has Regina Hall, I believe, in that movie. Regina Hall is in that movie. And I don't know if anybody even remembers that, but she was his wife in that movie. But you can kind of barely tell. And Regina Hall, she has been, no, not Hall, King, Regina King. Sorry, Regina King. Let me get her name right. Let me put some respect on her name. It's not Regina. Regina Hall is a great actress as well. But I'm with Regina King. That's what I meant. Regina King was in Enemy of the State, but they rarely showed her because can't show it too much. It's gonna be a black movie. So it really more so focused on Will Smith and this other white guy. I forgot who the other white person was that was in that movie. But you can't show too much of the black love because it's going to turn into a black movie. Yeah, stuff like that. So going full circle back into this, like it's tough being a black woman and a black man in media, and you're trying to put forth a positive image, but you have this machine that wants to put a negative image out of you. So now we finally have Lupita Nyong'o as the love interest, which is beautiful, and she's strong, and she can take care of herself. But she is working in tandem with Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa. It's not like, hey, I don't need no, it ain't no, I don't need no black man. I don't need, and he ain't in there talking about, man, F these hoes. Oh man, I don't want these. No. Their respect of one another is so great. The respect of black women is so great. The respect of the black men are so great in that movie. And that's why that movie is amazing, because it shows us its royalty and it shows us respecting one another, which you're not really going to see that much. And it's showing black love. Showing that black love. So you have a Lupita Nyong'o being loved, being pined after. And we need more images like that. We need more images like that, because all shades of us, all shades of black people need to be loved. But the thing is, within this industry, within this mechanism of America, of the world, of European culture, or westernized culture, the darker you are, the scarier you are. You don't deserve love the darker you are. And that has spread across other continents, not just America, but even other continents, even in China, even in Japan, even wherever you want to go. The darker you are, the less love you deserve. Is basically the Western and European mindset that has been pushed upon a lot of us, and by extension to other countries. But things like this, like movies like this, that push back against that, and they're like, no. Black people, we are beautiful. We are magical. We deserve to be loved. So having somebody like Lupita Nyong'o as a love interest is amazing. So, all right, fast forward after Black Panther, then you have someone, you have somebody like a Jordan Peele that comes into place, another black man, but he's mixed, I believe, because he's a light-skinned black man, right? He's a lighter-skinned black man. But with his life experience and a lot of people who are of lighter hue, you understand that there is a difference, that there are certain biases that happen. Okay, I get a little bit more favoritism. Doors open up a little bit better for me than it does for the other darker skinned people who are in my community, because I'm less threatening, because I'm closer to the white skin. I'm closer to that fairer skin. And that's what happens. Things like that. But not only does he doesn't just take this knowledge and just be like, hey man, I'm just gonna look out for me. Well, I don't see racism. You know how a lot of other people do. Once they make it, I don't see racism. No, he sits there and he says, you know what? I want to show black people as the leads in their film, them saving the day, them being as great as we know for them to be. We know that they can be. I'm going to put them in the forefront. I'm going to show black people. I'm going to show black beauty. I'm going to show black love. So there's Get Out, where you have Daniel Kaluuya. He's the lead, and he's a dark-skinned guy. Oh, he's dark-skinned too. But you have him as a lead, and it's beautiful to see him in the lead for this movie, and it's great, because not only, and he was also in Black Panther as well, but you have a dark-skinned brother like him, and he gets a leading man treatment, which is amazing, because that is rarely done. Again, in Hollywood, it's rarely done where you get leading man treatment for darker skinned black people. But that's fighting against that narrative. Somebody who doesn't have to. He there's no reason for Jordan Peele to, but he does it because he feels as though that's the right thing. So you put Daniel Kaluuya in place right there as the lead. Being the lead is dark as night, but he's beautiful. He's beautiful. Gorgeous skin. Gorgeous. And it's being dark is beautiful. Like, as being light is beautiful, being dark is beautiful. And that's the thing that we have to get back to. Black is very beautiful. And so as much as they try to tell us that black is not, and try to show us subliminally all these other reasons, it's great that we have people like Jordan Peele and have people like Kevin Feige, who isn't a part of our community, but he pushed for Black Panther to be put out there so you can have a dark-skinned black hero and a dark-skinned love interest, which we rarely ever see. It's hard enough to see a black couple and a lot of people, a wide net of people of different communities going to see that. But you also have a dark-skinned Black woman being loved, having love being pushed towards her. That is a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad that now we have Daniel Kaluuya as being a lead. He's being his own hero. He's saving himself. There is no white person in this movie saving him, and that's amazing. So we are leading man potential, leading man, leading woman potential. So stepping away from Daniel Kaluuya, going back to Jordan Peele. Okay, so now what happened? What's the next movie that comes out? Y'all remember the next movie that came out after Get Out? What's the next movie? Type it in the chat. You remember what it is. What is the next movie after that? Us, where you have Lupita Nyong'o as the lead. And we know this woman is amazing. She can act her butt off. Damn, is she good. She is talented. Not only is she dark chocolate and beautiful, but damn, is she talented. She is extremely talented. And she shows us this by playing two roles. One that's very timid, very nice, loving, and the other that's jarring, scary, you know, and it just shows how magical and how and it's crazy that it took this long for her. She's still young, granted, but it took this long for her to showcase her talents because of Hollywood pushing back and blocking people like Clifton Powell, blocking people like Lupita Nyong'o, you know, and the list goes on and on of our darker skinned brothers and sisters being pushed back when they have very much the ability to act and even beyond. They can act circles around a lot of these people who are getting roles over them just because they're so dark. They're too dark. They're scary. Oh, this person is so dark, it's scary. That was actually said. If for those who just not tuning in, if you're tuning in, I know I've been talking for a second, but please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video because this video needs to go out. More people need to be hearing about this and knowing about this. We have to speak truth to power. Yes, a lot of us know about this, but we need to remind ourselves of what's going on and not be put back to sleep, not be lulled back to sleep, thinking that everything is fine, everything is okay. No, it's not. We need to keep speaking truth to power. This stuff is going on, and we need to talk about it. So this is why we are talking about it. So for everybody that's just now tuning in, I'm going to show you the article I was talking about earlier about Clifton Powell. And I'm just going to basically give you the Cliff's notes. So long story short is he was talking about he's missed out a lot of movies. And they turned him down because one producer told him, like, hey, they told me you're so dark, he's gonna scare anybody. He's so dark, he's just gonna scare everybody. And he's been acting for over 30 years now. It says he's been in a lot of stuff. Ray, Eve's Bayou, Woman Thou Art Loose, and he's talking about it, you know, of what's been happening. And this was a recent interview that he gave. He said, if y'all knew, he revealed a disheartening anecdote of his personal experience of how pervasive racism is in Hollywood, how it prevails in Hollywood. If y'all knew how many movies I had, is that people come to me and they say, well, you should have been bigger than you are, because he's been in a lot of movies and he's good. He said, well, if I tell you how many times they said I was too black for the role, too black, you wouldn't believe it. He said, he's 64 years old. He's been acting for a long time. And he said one big movie, he said, if I tell you the truth, I've been blocked from a lot of movies. I've been blocked from a lot of movies. One big movie, the network told the producer, we think he's so dark, he's going to scare everybody. Now that's crazy. This is a guy that has won awards, who has been in countless movies, countless projects that we've seen him in over the years. Like I say, Eve's Bayou, Next Friday. And he's constantly delivering every time. I think he was also in, was it Luke Cage? I think he was in that movie. I mean, not movie, but the TV show. No, not Luke Cage. Black Lightning. He was in Black Lightning. Black Lightning. He did a really great job. You know, so this guy, he is amazing. He is really good. Why isn't he bigger than what he is? So we know because he's black, he's not that big. And also, he exposed another reason why he's not bigger than he is because he is dark skinned. And there are people in power that say, oh, he's going to scare people. And that is insane. That is just insane that you have this going on. And Soul Man is right. We need a Black Hollywood. We desperately need one. Because we had the Black exploitation back then, right? We had the Black exploitation where we were pushing on, but then there were mechanisms trying to push against that because it was becoming so popular. We were so good with what little we had, you know, the effects and the stuff. It wasn't nowhere near as good because we didn't have the capital behind. We didn't have the huge investments that white people were giving, but we were still putting out great work. But they saw that and that scared them, so they tried to push back against that. And same thing with, like, for instance, Bill Cosby. Let's go. So he was trying to put out some more positive material for Black people instead of showing us in negative stereotypes and negative lights. Saw what happened to him. They pushed back against him. And also for everybody that's tuning in, please feel free. Please hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Share this video. Subscribe to the Black Boss channel. If you have not already. Also, if you want to subscribe to my podcast, if you want to listen to more podcasts where I'm talking about stuff like this, go and type in The JT Effect. You can find my podcast. You can listen to this and many other stuff that I've talked about. I have some really great interviews and things like that where I'm talking about things like this and more. So please support Black media, not just Black Hollywood, like the person was saying, but also Black media, because we need Black media to also showcase and shine a light on those who are trying to create a Black Hollywood. So we need to be able to support one another. So please be sure that you're doing it again. Hit that like button and subscribe, share, and all that stuff. Let me take a quick sip before I continue. Okay, so somebody, Justin, said we do practice group economics, in our communities. Yes and no. I would say, Justin, we do, but also we don't, because so many of us take our money outside of our community and we give it away to other people. So where we could be having more power within our community, we are giving it away. And even some of the people who look at our Black beauty supply stores, or they used to be Black owned, but now a large portion of Asians own them. So we're giving money to them and they're not giving money back to us. We're barely seeing even any Black people working inside of this. So they're taking our money from these beauty supply stores that we used to own, and they're leaving, taking it back to their community. That's why you have the Chinatowns. That's why you have Japantowns. That's why you have Koreatowns, all that stuff. And their community is flourishing. And think about it. If we go into their, can we go in their community and open up like a wing shop? They would not have that. They're like, no, you cannot do that. So, so sorry. So Justin said, no, it's all good, man. I wondered if it was a typo, but I didn't want to put no words in your mouth. So Justin said, my bad. I meant we need to practice group economics. It's part of the puzzle. No, that's true. It is part of the puzzle. We have to start practicing more group economics, you know, and even for people who, like even with this podcast or with what Boris is doing, with other people are doing. If you can contribute, and don't even look at it as a donation, look at it as an investment. We need to invest into. We have to change our wording. We need to invest in one another, invest in one another's ideas, invest in one another's businesses, so that way we can create our own Hollywood. And the stuff that happens to a Clifton Powell, who he should have been, and he has the talent. He should be in all kinds of movies. He should be seen almost, well, I won't say as much as Samuel Jackson, but why not? You know, so you have somebody like Clifton Powell who should be seen in way more roles than he is. And it's not like he goes out and he says crazy things. I've never heard Clifton Powell say anything really damaging or crazy or racially charged. And he says he tries to stay away because he knows the industry that he deals with. He knows it's a predominantly white industry, so he can't, make rock the boat too much. He can't create too many waves. But we have to start doing our part, and let's not even. I mean, and I know that there's a lot of people say, some of these rappers and entertainers, they need to be investing in more, and that's true. That is true. But what can we do? What can we do on the ground level? Because really, if you really want to create a movement. And a lot of these movements, that start, it doesn't start from famous people. It starts from the people on the ground level. It starts from you and me. and little Pookie down the street. It starts with us actually doing it, and then other people see what we doing, and hey man, I want to be a part of it. Yo, that's what's up. How y'all get all this going? We practicing group economics. We're practicing group economics. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say right now. I guess my mouth is dry and I'm talking so much, but we need to start doing more of that and building up our own businesses, our own people, our own communities. Start putting money into those communities. Like I said, with Black media, invest in Black media, whatever you can, even if it's $1, even if it's $5. Don't think of it as a donation. I'm going to donate. No. It's an investment because you want to see their return, and what their return will be. The return will be an even greater thing for the community, not just for yourself, but for the community, because we need to see a bigger return. Group economics is very, very important. So that way we don't have to worry about things like this happening with Clifton Powell. We don't have to worry about that. Them saying you're too Black to do it. No, he's not too Black for anything. Anything is his power scares you. That's what that is. You know, the power in his melanin scares you, and it's just a really sad thing. It's really sad. I also wanted to point out also, it's not just the movies, and I know some people have mentioned it before. It's not just the movies. It's also on TV, and we've been seeing this for a long time. I know this a lot of people gonna remember this. Remember that? Remember there was the original Aunt Viv? And then she just disappeared and turned into whoever this is. Like, she wasn't a bad Aunt Viv. The other woman wasn't a bad Aunt Viv, but she didn't have that fire that the original Aunt Viv had. The original Aunt Viv, like, I ain't putting up with shit. You know, the original Aunt Viv is OG. You know, she was not putting up with any kind of crap. And then we had this other Aunt Viv that popped up, but that's the colorism. That's the thing that's going on again with what we were talking about before. The colorism is like, it's too dark. Let's more friendly, more family friendly. Let's lighten them up. So, and Viv was replaced, and that's really disgusting that, you know, stuff like that happened. But not only that, let me take you down another path down memory lane. Remember this, Harriet. Remember Harriet, the first Harriet on Family Matters, and then they switched Harriet out. And I don't even know why, because we did get like potentially like a reason of why Aunt Viv was switched out, because I guess there was maybe a little headbutting between her and Will Smith. But in this, I really don't understand why. Maybe if somebody knows the what happened with this Harriet and why they switched her out, write it in the comments. Definitely let me know, because I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up after this. But something like this happened, and she was horrible. The follow-up Harriet was horrible. She had nothing on the original Harriet. Like the original Harriet, the dark-skinned Harriet was amazing. She was loving. She was strong. She helped hold the family together. And then you had this other Harriet, a lighter-skinned, more family-friendly Harriet, where she just seemed like she was just annoyed all the time, and was just it just seemed like it was just a pain to have her there. It's just like and it wasn't. And this is what they do. You take the dark-skinned characters away and you keep everybody else, but then you just kind of slowly change out just to kind of, and that shows that, hey, your skin color isn't welcome. Your skin color isn't accepted here. And that is subliminally what it's telling us. And when we don't control, and the sad thing is we don't own Family Matters. Like, nobody Black owned Family Matters, because if they did, this wouldn't have happened. Nobody Black owned Fresh Prince of Bel-Air per se. You know, so, I mean, Will Smith was a star, but they allowed that to happen. The colorism that came in, and they subliminally let everybody know, hey, the darker you are, you know, the more you're unwelcome. You're not welcome. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters. It didn't stop there. Let me take you on another trip down memory lane. Exactly. Tania, you beat me to the punch. She got switched out too. Yeah, Claire got switched out on my wife and kids. Let me pop that up for everybody. Man, you're quick. Boom. There it is. Claire got switched out, and I never understood why. She wasn't a bad actress. But she got switched out for a much lighter. It was basically night and day. basically. You had as Rick James was saying, the darkness, and then you had this, a very light, bright, and both of them are very beautiful. Both of them are extremely beautiful, extremely gorgeous. But why? Why? That's subliminally saying we don't like your darker skin. And there's nothing against it because the new Claire, she was great. She was funny. It wasn't like on Family Matters where, the new Harriet sucked and the replacement sucked. Claire was great. But it's just like, well, why does this happen? Why does that happen? But we know why, because the darker your skin is, the more unwelcome you are. And that's what they're constantly telling us. And that's what they're constantly subliminally putting into our heads. So when we don't own the things like this, my wife and kids, things like this happens. So things like this happen. And a lot of people don't remember because they did it early on. They did this early on in the show. So a lot of people don't know about that. And this is the messed up things that happen. They do it and they move on. And everybody's just like, oh, I thought this has been Claire the whole time. No. Claire was dark skinned before she became a light skinned character. And that's colorism. That is basically saying, without verbally saying it, we don't like your skin tone. You are scary to us. And that's just our magic. That's just our power that all of us aren't embraced in this sense. Being dark skinned doesn't mean anything, because in the Black community, we know, like, let's say the darker you are, the closer you are to the sun. You are a sun child, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because the darker you are, you contain more colors. You contain so many colors within the Black man, the Black woman. We contain all of the colors, and we have a superpower, basically. Tried by things like this, by telling us subliminally, like, hey, you're not welcome, you're not liked, we don't like you, stay away. And they're trying to rewrite history in a sense to where it's just like, oh, well, Black people have never been loved. No. We have been loved. We've just been, in a sense, basically too nice and too kind and too giving, because we gave so much to the world. And what has the world given back to us? And I'm not saying that we need to go and just start burning and tearing stuff up. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying all of this to say we need to focus in on self, because things like this are going to keep happening. Things like this are going to keep happening if we don't take control of our own narrative. And that's exactly. Danny says that's the crap they do to let us know they got the power to change us over characters that they own. Because we don't own these shows. We probably create the shows, but we don't own the shows. If you own the show, you have ownership. You can do whatever you want, and nobody can tell you what to do, because this is your show and you own it. Just like now, I own this show. Nobody can tell me what to do. No white person can come in here and say, oh, John, that's nice. Let's start talking about nicer things. Let's be a little rough on white people. Let's be a little kinder, huh? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hey, we give you all kind of money. We're gonna give you money, and it's just propaganda. It's propaganda against our community. So when people who look like me get bought out, basically, and bribed to sell out their own community, it sucks. I'm not saying that I would do. I'm not saying I'm not that weak of a person to do that. So, but I'm just saying, if other people are doing it, let's see what the rest of the world is doing, and let's copy that and put our own spin on it, so we can do our own thing. So if they're pushing propaganda, we need to push our own propaganda towards us. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are strong. You can do anything you can set your mind to. Get some propaganda, and invest in some of these Black-owned businesses, these Black-owned media, creating Black Hollywood, so we can push our own propaganda, so nobody can tell us what to do and what to say. That's how you create ownership. That's how you own. That's how you control your own narrative, and nobody else can tell you what you are, who you are, what you should be, who you should be, because we are controlling our narrative. That's what it's about. And what's going on, Ingrid from Orlando? Hello from Orlando. What's going on? And they do it. It's not only this, it's so many other things, but this The reason why I'm talking about this, because I know some people talk, they would probably say, well, what about redlining? What about all these other things? This isn't the only form of racism. And you're right, it's not the only form of racism. But with media, it is so influential. And that is the thing that reaches a lot of people. It influences a lot of people. Media is so influential. It is so influential that whoever owns the media, they own a lot of power, they own a lot of control, they own a lot of influence. So the more that we invest into more of our own people, we can take back a lot of their power. You know, it's not just a one shoe fits all. There's so many different ways that we can attack. You know, it's creating a strategy, but this is one of the things that we can do. We have to start investing and supporting one another in order to get out and change the narratives like the one that Clifton Powell says. Because Clifton Powell is such an amazing person. I've heard from this one person I know, person, he said he's met Clifton Powell, and Clifton Powell is extremely nice and a very humble, down-to-earth guy. And I can kind of tell that, you know how you look at people and you can just kind of tell, like, you know, this person is really nice. This person seems to be a really genuine person. And I feel as though I would enjoy their company if I talk with him. And I feel as though I think that's who Clifton Powell is. I mean, I could be wrong, but somebody told me that this guy, he is a very nice, down-to-earth, humble guy. So, and I don't want somebody like a Clifton Powell to have to say something like this. Like, when do we get to the point to where we're just like, hey, you know what? I don't want anybody else saying anything like that. We're taking the narrative back of our own. We're controlling our own narrative. This is what it's going to be from now on. Black women, dark-skinned women are extremely beautiful. I'm going to find the darkest, beautiful, talented actress I can find, and I'm going to she's going to be the lead. I'm breaking the norms. I'm bucking the norms because we are the trendsetters. Let's set the trends. All the power is within our hands, and it doesn't matter where. Even the most famous, well, not the most famous, but one of the more famous stories of the Bible, David and Goliath. Because I know a lot of people, oh man, but this, you know, white people, they have so much power, they have so much control. Well, Goliath seemed really big too. But David took that rock and he had faith and courage. And some people call that, you know, being foolhardy and stupid. Like, man, you gonna do what? You crazy. But he did it. He got it done. Knocked that giant down. And we can do the same thing no matter where you are. We can get it done. You got to put your mind to it. You have to believe it. Nobody else is going to believe it for you. You have to believe it. You have to believe within yourself. And even if you feel like you have to lie to yourself every day, say that, hey, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make a huge change for my community. Say it every day. You have to indoctrinate yourself. You have to speak. The words that we speak are so powerful. So would you rather say something strong and positive about yourself, because that will change and alter your life? Or would you want to say something negative? Keep saying these negative stereotypes and say, because you're going to create that reality too. But the more that you go about saying these positive things and saying, I'm going to create a change for my community. Because one of the things I do, the reason why I do the things I'm doing now is so that I can make a change for my community, for the Black community, for y'all. You know, this isn't just for me. Yeah, I would like to get some, you know, notoriety and stuff. That'd be nice. But at the end of it all, when I want people to look back for me, you know, and just be like, oh man, you know what? John did a lot. You know, man, he was grinding. He did a lot. He opened up a lot of doors for a lot of these younger guys coming in, man. He paved a way for a lot. And not because I want that notoriety, but it's just I want them to have options. I want people to come after me to have options, because we deserve something more than what we've been given. You know, so since they don't want to give it, we need to create it. And we need people like y'all to come on here and help us, you know, create it, and help other businesses, not just mine, but help other businesses. Like go and invest. Don't just donate, but go and invest. Don't really look for it. I mean, if you can get a return back on some of that stuff, hey, great. You know, I'm not saying don't, but other stuff, it's just like, for instance, I contribute to the North Star, Sean King's thing. And it's not that I'm looking for anything back, but I give like $5 a month. You know, could I be using that $5 somewhere else? Yeah, but I mean, I probably wasting on some BS. So it's just like I'm gonna give my $5 just so I can create. We can have another medium that we own, not that anybody else owns it. Because it's you know, a lot of stuff I agree with Sean King. There's maybe one or two things I don't agree all the time, but that's black owned. You know, so it's just like and for a black narrative, and it's just like, hey, I'm cool with that. You know, so I'll give my $5 for that. You know, so hey, if y'all want to contribute, that being said, if y'all want to contribute on here for, you know, my platform here, you can go to anchor.fm/the JT Effect /support. Again, it's anchor.fm/the JT Effect /support. You can contribute $1, $5, or $10. You know, I think those are, but I think somebody was asking, can I contribute more? Yes, you can contribute more. This was a while ago that they asked this, and I meant to. So you can also go to, let me see, I think I have, nope, I did not upload it. But anyway, you can go to my Cash App. My Cash App is the $ Thomas Harry Visions. Again, that's the cash. Actually, I'm gonna just write it. So that way y'all can have it. You know, if y'all want to contribute more, and you can. So let me see. I'm gonna type it in here. But yeah, we need to help one another contribute more to what we're doing. PayPal is the same thing. If you want to contribute PayPal, you can do that. Let me see. me/Thomas Harry Visions. You can do that at both of these places that I'm going to share right now. If you want to do more than just the $10. So there's a Cash App, Thomas Harry Visions, and then there's PayPal, paypal.me/Thomas Harry Visions. You can contribute here if you want to give more than the $10. But if you only want to give like $1, $5, $10, then you can contribute here at anchor.fm/the JT Effect /support. Because a platform like this, we need more of your support, your investments. We need your investments. Invest into Black-owned media, invest into what Dr. Boyce is doing, invest into what the North Star, Sean King, is doing, invest into Black media, because media is important. Media influences and sways a lot of people. That kind of works faster than anything else. If you control the media, you can control so much of the narrative, and that's propaganda. You know, they push propaganda against us in so many shapes and forms. We need to push our own propaganda back to where we control it. So no, we're not going to tell, you're not going to tell us to do this and do that and whatever the case may be, but we are going to control our own narrative. So I think Shaw Briggs said, what do you think about Black people building with each other from around the world, like the Caribbean, Africa, South America, etc.? I feel as though that's very important. We have to, you have to. Because Black people, not only are Black people being hurt here, Black people are being hurt all across the world. And if you read Powernomics, actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna grab this book. All right, I'm back. I'm grabbing this book because this is very important. We all need to have a book like this. I'm gonna take this down. And thank you, Shaw. I appreciate you being on the channel, man. I appreciate you being here, bro. I really appreciate that, for sure, for real. So you have something, exactly, nothing wrong with supporting. You have Powernomics, and that's from Claude Anderson. I think somebody mentioned that on there earlier. So this is a very important book. It's the National Plan to Empower Black America, but not only Black America. He mentions on there where there are a lot of industries that we can take advantage of here that, you know, a lot of people aren't really, like industrial industries that a lot of people have forgotten about. We can take over those industries, and you know, really build up that industry, invest in that industry, the forgotten industries that they leave all these inner cities with, the Black-owned, or Black majority lived in cities like a Detroit and stuff like that, and it becomes run down. You have all these buildings that we have, and no one is using these buildings. You have all these buildings, all this property that's not being used. So if we go and we pool our money together, buy the building, start taking these industries, or hell, let's start getting some of these black-owned beauty shops and all this other. Like, I don't know, we can just put our businesses in there, or whatever that industry is that has been forgotten about. Maybe it's create clothes or whatever, or making belts. It can be anything. Belts. It can be making what else? I'm looking around my my room area here just to see what else can be made. I don't washing machines, refrigerators. I don't know, book bags, things that people don't really think about but is needed. Create that industry, leather making factory. Where we creating these industries that have kind of been forgotten, or the industries that have been sent overseas. So a lot of people have lost their jobs. Take that industry back, make it here, and then we also have our own black lobbyists, our black lobbyists, where we put money in their pocket. Like, hey, we're hiring you to go fight for us. We're not just putting you in office and then we hope for the best. All right, don't forget about us. No. We putting money in your pocket. You go up to Joe Biden, you go to Kamala Harris, you go to all these folks, and you tell them, hey, we got some black industries in here, and this will help America. If you put money in these industries, we need funding, we need capital, we need investments. So if you want America to get back on track, we want America to be great again, you need to invest in these companies outside of us investing in these companies. So we basically do what Japan did. And he mentions that in this book as well with Japan, because when Japan got bombed, remember Hiroshima, when they got bombed, it was basically almost like the end of the world for them in a sense. It's like, how do you come back from an atomic bomb? How do you come back from that? That's one of the worst things that can kind of happen. But what they did, they said, you know what? We got to get back into this race as a group of people. So, and I see somebody put great ideas. It's not fully my idea. It's not my idea. This is Dr. Claude Anderson. So get this book, go find this book and read it. This is a great book. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up the link. I think if you just type in powernomics.com, you can find a book, you can buy it, and it's a great read. It's unlocked so much in my mind. It's like, oh crap, he's right. This is right. We can do all of these things, and we haven't done it, and we're just sitting on a minefield, a gold field, just sitting on gold, and like we haven't even thought about doing any of this stuff. And this is, if you go to powernomics.com, and you'll see where you can buy the book. He has a Black Labor, White Wealth. All of these books is basically leading up to Powernomics. And you can just go buy go and purchase Powernomics. You can actually get a solutions pack with all these books, $67. That's an amazing deal. So go and get this book. Go and support this man, because he's been talking about what we need to do and he's been ignored. And you can see why he's been ignored with the stuff that I've said, because they don't want us to know about this. They don't want us to think and sit there and be like, oh shit, I can do that. Dang, I didn't know. I could sit there and, man, we do have all these abandoned buildings in our own community and nobody's using it. And we can just go and buy this building out. It's cheap because, it's just basically what's going to happen is, as with, like white flight and all of this, it's going to be gentrification. After a while, once the value goes down in our communities, then they come back in and, oh, let's buy this up, man. This is real cheap. Let's push these black people out. Let's gentrify this area. Let's get these black people out of here. So let's not have that happen. So we need to do all this so that way we can take control. Like I said, it's not just media. There's other ways we can go about doing this. So go to this website. Like I said, it's an amazing website. Buy this book, read it. I'm still reading it because I these aren't my ideas alone. I've been influenced by Dr. Claude Anderson. This is his idea, and I'm pretty sure he's gotten some stuff from other people. But exactly, like around how many millions of Popeye's chicken did we buy? And there's nothing wrong with Popeye's chicken. Popeye's chicken is good, it's tasty, but as much money as that we waste, we can be putting money into our own businesses. And good. Danny, go ahead and buy that book. I'm glad that you've been hearing a lot about it. You should buy it. It's really good. So we need to strategize. We need to do some. Master P is already doing a lot of stuff. I talked about him in a previous podcast. So again, if you want to listen to my podcast, you can find me on Apple Google Play, Spotify, The JT Effect. You'll find my podcast. You can listen to all of my stuff there, or you can subscribe to me on YouTube, whatever. You can find me as you're driving down the road. You can listen to all these things I'm talking about. And then I'm talking about Black empowerment. I'm trying to motivate people, all this stuff. I'm talking about some good stuff. So again, if you want to invest into my Black-owned show, The JT Effect, definitely do that. You can go to anchor.fm/the JT Effect/support. Again, that's anchor.fm/the JT Effect/support. Or you can give $1, $5, or $10. Or if you want to give more, you can give here to Cash App or PayPal. Again, for everybody who's tuning in, please make sure you hit the like button, that you hit the subscribe button, because we need your support to really get this message out. Share this video, leave your comments. I appreciate everybody that's been commenting, man. Y'all are amazing. You're very beautiful people. I love y'all to come on here and you engage and you share. And we're just uplifting one another, you know, because this is a really dark world, and we really need to be the light. We have always been the light in this world, but more so, we need to start being the light for ourselves. We need to start being the light for our own communities. You know, we're constantly saving everybody else when we need to save ourselves. You know, we save ourselves first. It's like if you are stuck in a bear trap, and there's other people stuck in bear traps. You know, there's five of you all, and we're all clapped in bear traps. Would you go and just like, oh, okay, let me save you first, get you out of this bear trap. Oh, let me go and save you. See you stuck in a bear trap too. What about your own leg? Oh, well, I'm pretty sure if I save these people, they'll save me. So let me go ahead and loosen up this bear trap, and I'm pretty sure they'll loosen up my bear trap while I'm loosening up their bear trap. No, man, you loosen up their bear trap, brother. Thank you, bye, and they're out of here. They're not paying attention to you. Now you sitting there stuck in a bear trap. You done set everybody else free. Meanwhile, your leg is bleeding, and you probably made your leg worse. The leg is about to be really torn apart from his ligaments because you're sitting there crawling, dragging it across the ground, trying to let everybody else free from their bear traps. So just like we have to start saving ourselves. And Tremaine says, because back in the day, before so many others came over here, it was Blacks who was doing all the hand-on jobs, construction, mechanical, drywall, and painting, etc. Exactly. So with that stuff, with us bringing in so many immigrants now, they're taking on a lot of the jobs that they're not giving us. You know, taking a lot of the industries that we just left just so we can be a part of somebody else's America, just to integrate. You know, we did all of that to integrate, and we left a lot of our jobs. We left a lot of our businesses, like the beauty industry. We left a lot of that for Asians basically to come in the back door while we walked out the front door, just so we can go and work at this white person's company when we already had our own companies. We had our own businesses. And we left the door wide open for them to come in and just take over our stuff. And then they blocked us out. That's what I'm saying. We need ownership. We need to be able to take control back over our narrative, like in media. We need to start creating businesses and investing in those businesses, investing in our Black media, because we can't keep sitting there thinking that, yes, the government owes us reparations. Yes, they owe us reparations. The government knows they owe us reparations. Are they going to give us reparations? Probably not. They're not probably ever going to give us any reparations. So what do we need to do? We need to invest in ourselves. Just like how some more of you are investing in the stock market, let's start investing in ourselves and get that return back, because that's the only way, because nobody else is going to do it. Like I said, we need to be the trendsetters. We need to set the trends, make whatever we're doing is cool, because that's what we do anyway, but do it for ourselves. And then everybody else is going to come aboard, because guess what? Once we get our stuff on and popping, then here's some of the white folks. Oh, hey, y'all seem to see that you got some good stuff going on there. I have $1 million I can invest, and blah, 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 blah. So now we're getting their money. But we have to worry about us first. We have to worry about us first. So I thank you all for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. Actually, I think somebody had one more comment. JT, let me see. JT, if you can, how have your experiences been in Hollywood? If you can tell us. My experience in Hollywood has kind of like the average Black, I'll leave it up so everybody can read, kind of like the average Black actor, in a sense, to where majority of the roles that I see are for the best friend of the white lead, best friend of the white lead. So kind of like how, you know, you have Captain America and you have Falcon. You know, so he never really get that much shine, but it's always about Captain America, who's the white guy, Steve Rogers. That's kind of what a good portion of the roles are. Outside of that, they'll either want to see you in a detective or a police officer role or the thug. So those are the roles that they have, or I guess seeing you emasculated, which I know some people try to say, well, what's wrong with being gay? Like, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but they don't want to see Black men being strong. Like, really, like the attack on heterosexual Black men in general. We've talked about that before. The attack on them is ridiculous. Like, look at what they did to Ice Cube, just trying to take control of his community, take control of the narrative. And then some of your own Black women in the community, because they, and I get it, because you want to, like, no, we need to be free, and this is the way to do it. But it's like, but there's nothing wrong with him asking these questions. Nothing wrong with him taking control of his community. So many other men in their community, they control their community, and their women respect them. We need to start respecting our men, the Black men in our communities, more than what we've been doing, because that's what they want us to do. They don't want us to respect the Black man in our community, because if you take the Black man down, then the community is not really going to strive. Because it's not saying, and it's nothing against Black women, because Black women can lead as well. They're amazing Black women leaders. They're great, but you also need Black men too, not just Black women, because you need Black men. And there's like Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was amazing. Like, she didn't really need a Black man around, but if you have a Harriet Tubman, you also need a Frederick Douglass. If you have a Harriet Tubman, you also need a Malcolm X or whatever. The list goes on and on. So we need both. It can't just be one. So like all the Black women say, shut up, Black men, we got this. And it's just like, well, what do the Black men got? So now you're vulnerable, because you need somebody to stand out in front and protect the Black women. Who's going to protect the Black women if you don't allow the Black men to help protect the Black women and the Black children? Because that's in every community, that's in every culture. The men protect the women and the children. And again, not saying that women can't lead and stuff like that. They can, but we are naturally warriors. We want to defend our home, we want to defend our turf, and we have to start uplifting those Black men who do want to protect the Black women, but also allow them to lead, allow them to have a say, so allow them to say something. So going back to the Hollywood thing, that's what I've been dealing with. There's not that many roles for a Black man to really lead and shine. And if there are roles like that, typically it's like with me, not even with a Black woman. It's kind of like I said, they don't really want to show Black love that much. It's like me with a white woman, or me with a Hispanic woman, stuff like that. So they don't want to really see Black love, because in any kind of small sense, they say, oh, that's a Black film then at that point. So only Black people gonna see it. Nobody else wants to see that, and that's just not true. So that's been my experience with that. But again, go get Powernomics. This is important. Go to the website. We definitely need something like this. Also, So Man said, another Bible for Black People's Blueprint for Black Power by Dr. Amos Wilson. We need more. Somebody put, Rhonda says Tyler Perry has power. We need more Tyler Perrys. So only we can invest into our community like that. So we need more Tyler Perrys, not just him, but we need more. Like, I'm trying to create some more Black media, even outside of this. But I need you to invest in order for me to more easily navigate and do so. So I don't have to be beholden to this white power structure. We can create our own structure. Like Clifton Powell was saying, Clifton Powell shouldn't be beholden to them so much, but he is, because we allowed just us to integrate so much that we didn't think about really keeping control and owning our own businesses. And because we were just so ready to go into their businesses, making them wealthier, making them more money while we took home peanuts, where we could have been making ourselves wealthier and giving our own people jobs, and they can be as Black as they want to be. They can be black. But now you have a lot of Black people that's going to jobs, they can't even be themselves. And that's traumatic in itself. That's mentally stressful. So we need to start investing in ourselves to get ourselves out of this muck that we're in. We can't be depending on other people. We can't depend on the Democrats. We can't depend on the Republicans. We can't depend on these politicians so much unless we pay for them ourselves. Unless I put $5,000 or having, probably that's $5,000 ain't a lot, but let's just say I put $5,000 in your pocket. You work for me. We need to buy our own politicians, because that's the only way we can talk real Black issues and real Black politics. these other people who look like us, but they're really talking white politics. They're really talking Hispanic politics. They're really talking LGBTQ politics. They're not talking about black politics. So I say all of that to say I love y'all. I appreciate it. Again, if you want to support, make sure you hit this like button, subscribe to the channel, share it. If you want to support, go to anchor.fm/thejtfx/support, and you can donate. No. Sorry, I'm saying. So I'm going to eliminate that word. I'm going to invest. You can invest into this channel, into this show. I'd appreciate it. If you want to give more than just $1, $5, or $10, you can do so at Cash App. You can Cash App me, or you can PayPal, and you can just explain in the notes what's it for. And I appreciate it. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the day. I'll see y'all the next time. Remember, share this video so more people can see it. Thank you. Love you. Take care.